Hello, this is Grant,
This is Ellie.
and we're going to be doing episode 26 of Dead Rising 2 Master Run.
Oh my gosh, why is she wearing a scarf on her face?
So this is going to be all poker. She's supposed to be kind of like a redneck type thing. Think like Dukes of Hazzard. And the goal here is you have to pay, I think you have to pay $25,000 to start this, but you can't actually make any money from this poker game. In a way, this really isn't an actual scoop. It's more of just something to tell you to go back to the safe room, because in this game, the safe room is enormous, and there's a ton of survivors in there. And I don't know my way around it. So without that arrow, I would never find this. But the goal is we got to knock everyone out, except it's strip poker. So every time you knock them below 0, they can take off one article of clothing and they get 25,000 back, counting me. The first time I did this, I was dumb and I was in my underwear for another scoop, so I got out right away. And I reset it just because while you can do this as much as you want, if you lose, then whoever won after you will have $100,000 to start, and it makes them really annoying. Particularly because there's one guy that you're supposed to be, Jack, who wears the night helmet, who, if I recall, I was actually really concerned because he wasn't here, because the whole point is to beat him, because he gives you the night helmet, and that's part of the night costume, which doubles your health. So other than that, there's no real point other than fun. So I thought, I don't know if I do it in this episode, but I had to go back and check, is he still alive? Or, I was really concerned that I had gone through this whole thing and then had, forgotten him. Because that happened in another case where, I forgot a painting. And I was like, oh, God. I would hate to have to go do the whole thing over just because of that one guy. But luckily he's not in here, so I pretty much destroyed this guy because he was the only one who's good. This guy right here is also pretty good. He's a CEO of company. So I imagine maybe he's played high-stakes poker before. But the goal for this is just like the poker game early on. You get 3 gambling magazines, so everything is slated in your favor. We'll easily get, pretty much all our cards will be above 8. So you're already kind of slated to get high cards. Past that, you just need to kind of gamble your chances. They give you the rules of poker as you go. If you need to check them at any time, and they'll show you how all the cards match up. So it's pretty simple. It is a little annoying because sometimes, especially with Jack, there's not a lot of leeway. He just seems to get a lot of good hands, and if you ever get a good one, he folds really fast. I don't think the game is 100% honest, so to say, because the point is to make a good poker experience, not to make a good poker player. So I'm wondering if they don't say, oh well, to make him seem more challenging. Whereas the A is not actually predicting you have good cards; it kind of knows, but then they also have to program in mistakes and stuff, so I don't really know how. I would love to see their code for this, I'm sure this was a huge way to go through, and it would have been really tough to how do you make a poker playing AI that isn't extremely efficient or stupid? Because you could just say it can calculate the percentages that they would win with that hand,
Yeah.
You can do that pretty fast, so it could just say, if above 50, do it. If not, fold. And honestly, that would destroy you. It would be very, very good. But, so, yeah. They all have distinct personalities, each one of these guys. It's a little hard to see. I think if you watch, several games, it's pretty easy, usually the chick on the left here in that mermaid costume thing always goes out first, followed by Trixie Lynn, and then either Woodrow or Jack are usually the last ones here. It's using blinds, so really these first few moves don't really matter, because as the blinds get bigger, that's what starts knocking people out, because they have to pay 12,000. Well, if you get 25,000 back for taking something off, paying 12,000 kind of puts you in a terrible position. So in retrospect, I was really glad that I didn't get Jack, because Jack just cleans house. I hate him. Whereas with these guys, it's actually kind of fun, especially when you're slated to win. I'm not that good at poker, and like I said, here, I hit double aces. I'm meant to win this with those 3 books. But I do hate that this is a part of a game, and I considered, do I want to actually do this in the run? Because it's not really a scoop you complete, I don't think. It's just kind of there. I think it goes away after you win one game. But you can always come back and do it again. You don't get any PP for it. Really, the only point is to get that helmet. Honestly, I was surprised they even put this much poker in the game. Like, they obviously spent a lot of time on it. Like, they'll even move, like, the dealer chip around, and I'm sure they'll actually have a bunch of really small details in the game, and the programmers probably played a lot of poker to make this. But then it's like you play it twice, and I don't particularly care for it as a person. So, like, I try to contain the poker episodes to their own little thing, so they can be easily skippable. Do you know how to play poker, Ellie?
I played a little bit of Texas Hold'em, but I don't think I could remember the rules. I don't play much poker, no.
I always wanted to get really into poker, but it's something where you would need people on your level, or you'd have to be like really go into it as a hobby where you could try and make money. And that would be extremely difficult as well. But you need to know a lot. Like a lot of like high level poker is like memorizing like different starting hands and what their percentages are. Like I just read a interesting little article. It was about the two pair ace and king, and it was named after I think like a Russian poker player whose initials were AK, and both that hand and him had this saying where it looks really good but it plays really bad. And that's something you just have to know, like all the different kind of combinations. So here I was debating, is Jack still alive? Because I was really concerned, like, oh, I shouldn't be playing this. But I thought, like, oh, surely, like, I saved him. This is the other guy in the scoop. There's no way I would have forgotten the other guy. I was telling myself, there's no way. But I didn't want to also go watch, like, all these old episodes. And then I was really concerned because, like, oh, there's these, like, question marks. So, like, what if, like, something weird happened or it glitched out or, I don't know, it just really concerned me. I did get them. Plus, it's kind of entertaining to read some of these descriptions. Like, they're really out there. Like, how did you know this? Like, how do you know that about this person? But he'll make a little note, like, about how they're addicted to nasal spray. That's the guy, so. I don't know why he doesn't show up. He's also not in the room at all. So that was one of the reasons why I was extremely concerned. So, I just remember, like, it's been a while since I've actually played this because I recorded it all at once, but since it's, like, a bunch of these, like, 30-minute episodes, recording dialogue for 30-minute episodes, like, back-to-back is extremely tiring. I feel like if I did, it would just turn into a bunch of episodes like, yep, do this, yep. Like, extremely boring. So I try to keep it fresh, but then now it's like, man, I'm like, oh yeah, what was I doing? Oh yeah, that happened. So, but yeah, this entire episode is just poker. It's pretty straightforward. It's probably way better because I didn't get Jack. And honestly, I'm totally okay if anyone skips these episodes because there's not much to say. It's just playing poker. If you are having trouble, you could definitely look into like different percentages, like what hands do well, which ones don't. And that's kind of interesting because there's a lot of like things that are unintuitive. Like I think like one of like there's like the world's worst poker hand. Well, not world's worst because it's always the same, but the worst poker hand is like a 2 and a 9 offsuit because like it's like you're not going to get a high card with the 2 and you're probably not going to get one with a 9. You're not going to get a straight. You can't get a flush because they're offsuit. It's pretty much like, unless everyone has like literally that same combination, it's like you're pretty much screwed. And that's something you might not know. Is like that you might not think about that. You might just like, oh yeah, well I'll see it through, and then you're like too far in or something. I don't know. I enjoy poker. I think it's something that not enough people like know how to actually play. Back before we played D&D, what we would do is we'd come over and a bunch of us would play poker. And we would just like pay for like simple cash. Like everyone throw in $5, and whoever wins gets the pot. Or maybe second. Usually we would also do like second place would get some of it as well. Particularly if it got to the point where it was obvious one person was like a landslide ahead, but we didn't want to sit and wait for like this game to resolve between these two people. Because it was very tough. Like we use blinds, but like if the blinds don't go up fast enough, the game never ends. If they go up too fast, well then that ruins the point because then it's just like. If you're betting, if you have to go all in every single hand, you're just at the mercy of like the cards. There's no skill. So we just did like we split like 75-20. And that was pretty good because like $5 to go have like 4 hours of fun that's not bad, you know. But also winning $30 just like every once in a while, that's also pretty awesome. So we kind of learned how to play. Like I had to go through and learn like blinds and how to handle like different things and do it all properly. Like I know a big thing that people confuse is like checking. Like that's a very classic like beginner's mistake where they'll go around and if no one bets or if they raise, you can check. And that's essentially saying like I don't want to raise it, but I'm not going to match it until like it's all done. And it lets you just like pass through it. And a lot of time like will like just check like no one's hand has changed. So everyone just checks and you just move on. Well, that's a classic thing where a beginner might be like, oh, well, now I raised. It's like, well, like, or they'll fold. Like, why are you going to fold? Like, the bet hasn't changed. You don't lose anything by staying in. Or another thing that's like technically highly illegal is you can't like, oh, I match and then raise. You know, like you would see in like a movie. That's actually highly illegal. You have to do like one or the other. And it's all about like lingo and process, but difficult to learn. Much more difficult to be good at. Like I've definitely thought about like kind of like getting into poker, but then that would also ruin it. Like if you were like extremely good at poker, who are you gonna play it with?
Yeah.
Because you're not like a professional, so you can't go like that high. But if everyone else like doesn't know how to check and you're just like clearing house, then who wants to play with you? So. All right, we're about halfway done here. It's looking good. I'm in a really good position here. It looks like, yeah. They're starting to get out. She's gone. And as the blinds get bigger, like, and they start losing, it just becomes inevitable. Like, they have to bet all in every hand. You just take them out. I did think this is weird because this woman over here in the blue, she's like a dancer, and you like pick her up like at a swimming pool. So she shows up in like, she's like a bikini. And then now they have to like add stuff back onto her to make her like challenging. Or like this guy who's in like a full suit. It takes a lot to get him down just because he's wearing a lot. I'm sure like if you were having trouble, you could have a strategy where you put on like a hat, sunglasses, suit, boots, pants, like every possible cosmetic item just to give you like those extra turns. But these gambling books just make it cake. Like, oh, 2 queens, and the next round I get 2 aces, and it's pretty nice. I will say I've played this poker enough just going through the game 3 times that you can kind of see like you'll get to the point where it's like, oh, you have a 99% chance to win. They have a 1, and you'll get it where they do get that 1% chance, and it's like, are you kidding me? And then that's why I have to restart. It's because like, oh, they had a 3 and a 2, and I had double aces to start, and then it just plays like 3, 3, 3, 3, and it's like, oh well, okay, nice. You know, it's like it's a small chance, but yeah. I do dislike the fact that you don't get to keep this money. I think the point is like there's no actual money going around because everyone just like gets their chips back. But at least with the other poker game, it's long, but you get $1 million, which is basically, other than for getting the unlocks, that's all the money you will ever need in the game. So it's pretty nice. Because in Dead Rising 2, I don't know if you know this, you have like certain unlocks you buy with cash. You get like vehicles, you can get Zombrex, you can just get random weapons throughout the game. So it's very convenient to have a lot. And the only other way to get cash is just other stuff in the game or play Terror is Reality. And no one is on Terror is Reality anymore.
I like his boxers. I like how he tucks his shirt into his boxers.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's just like a unintentional part because I don't think the shirt exists below the boxers. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. It's kind of neat. It does feel kind of like cheap, though, the order. I imagine, like, if you actually play at strip poker, everyone would be like that. Well, like, I'm going to take off my left sock, you know?
Yeah,
like, I'm going to take off my right sock this time. It's like, come on. But, it's kind of cool. I would like to play more poker. I could be a perfect game to kind of, like, drink with and just get good at, but it's tough. And I feel like it's not really a relevant skill.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool skill to have, but other than, like, the poker we played here, which is something I set up, you never really play poker. Like, it's not like a thing people usually do. So, all right, knocked him out. So I was debating doing it again because now Jack's here, and I didn't know what was going to happen if I restarted. I thought I was just going to pull him, Jack, and this other person who just appeared in the room into the game. But Jack over here just destroys the poker. I don't think I end up beating him here, but it didn't matter because I already kind of completed the scoop. So I just move on. Yeah, I think I do pretty tough because he's like you where he just gets really good cards, or he just like folds any sign of losing, and he just seems to be able to milk the other players like very, very well. Like you might be playing well, but oh well, she's just gonna feed all his cash to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In which case, that kind of sucks. Honestly, that's something that happens in like actual poker too. I don't know. We had issues where like people were inexperienced, so like they would like want to see like the hand out, even though they knew they're gonna lose. Like, well, don't do that because you're just giving this guy like all your cash. Then he's like that much harder to beat, even though you know like it's a bad decision. So, gosh. But it seems like in both pokers in this game, there's always like that one guy that's just like a dick. In the other poker game, it's like there's one guy who's just hard to beat just because he folds every single time. Like fold, fold, fold. It's fine. It's like you can beat him that way because it's the bad strategy, but it takes so many hands.
Yeah.
And like the whole point is to beat it as fast as possible because I gotta go save people's lives. So that is a little annoying. So I think like I thought I was doing good early on here, and especially like the other game was pretty easy, but then bam, yeah, dude's going all in, and I'm like, don't really have much of a hand. I guess I do have a pretty decent hand, but it's like, I don't even know. I don't know if the bots can bluff. Like guarantee. Like what is she doing? What is she doing? Turns out being the right call for me to fold though. Because I completely missed this hand. I wish I could do some actual poker commentary, but I don't know that much about it. Sure enough, he wins. It's like, I want to beat that, but oh wait, she bet like half of her cash, so now he's going to go up high. It's really frustrating because it's like I do this for completion, but I don't feel like it's a big part of the game. I don't mind that it's included. I think it's kind of cool. Because I'd never played like just a poker game just to play poker online or whatever, but it's neat. But it is such a dry section. And I guess like really only the point of it is to get his hat. So if you're doing that like a completionist thing to get like every piece of armor for that, whatever, then yeah, this would be a nice change of pace. See, so. There he is about to win. Here's like a weird little case where the hand on the table is better than both of theirs, so they just split the pot. And I think that's something that I've always played it where you keep the pot running if that happens. But that might be the case, like you can't do that because I folded or something. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes sense, but I know that's a rule that's often overlooked. Is like if the table's hand's better than everyone, well then everyone can like use that hand so everyone ties.
That's what I feel like in the very few times I've played poker. I feel like each person or each group you play with has like a little bit different rules that they play by.
Oh yeah. It's very tough. I thought for sure I was gonna do well with that hand, and then she just. I don't even particularly remember saving her. I think she's a prostitute if I recall, actually. Yeah, you have to pay her to come join you. Like, she will, and her friends will refuse to come unless you give her $10,000.
Wow.
So, but what's nice is she and like her little posse have like extremely good melee attacks. Like it's really weird. Like you don't want to give them weapons because their hand stuff like will always instantly kill zombies and stuff. It's a neat little tip I cover. And it's kind of weird, like, that this guy's good at poker because, like, the mission you get him in is him and his, like, new father-in-law went to Vegas to, like hang out and like, get to know each other. And his father's, like, really, like, gruff old guy. And he, like, uses his son-in-law as, like, this, like, lazy bum who just wants to play poker all day. But dude's actually good, you know?
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't know. I'm sure if you wore that Knights helmet everywhere, that would be a little concerning. But yeah. This poker definitely started to wear on me because I kind of wanted to get to the actual game. Because it's just like, flip, flip. I don't think anything's going on right now, which is why I chose to. We're essentially just waiting for the final case. I just have to get Zombrex for Katie one more time and then just wait out the timer for the military to come. Which is the equivalent of the helicopter in one. this does make me want to play poker. Like when I was doing this, I was like, man, I should go play poker. Like I always wanted to get like a poker night going at the house or something, at the frat house. Especially if like people would throw money in. Like it'd be worth getting good at poker.
Yeah.
Because you got enough people that would want to play that you kind of keep it going. But it would be nice, you know. I always thought it'd be a cool skill to have. I value it on the same level of, it seems like everyone should be able to play chess. You know, like that just seems like an important skill to have. I'm pretty sure I lose this hand. Yeah. I think it was pretty obvious. Like I'm in a terrible position here. But sure enough, yeah, she has a flush. I just feel so helpless when I have to play poker. See, if I wore the freaking boxers, I would have been screwed. Because that was my first knockout. I think it's just all downhill from here. I think Jack starts taking her money. And then Jack's got like 70,000, or she has 70,000, and I have like 10,000. And it's just like, it's not going to happen. Probably the fact that I had to play is probably my least favorite parts of the run. Or just the fact that it's like, screwed. I think I end up like quitting out of the game after this because it's clear I'm not going to win. And I don't have anything to gain besides the knight helmet. And it wasn't my goal to get like the whole knight set in one run, because I think like you get the final pieces by beating the game with an S ending, like the best ending. So it's like, well, I can't use it on the run. And it's not really an achievement run, so...
Yeah.
Although, what would you think about that? I thought about doing maybe achievement runs as well for
This could be cool.
Dead Rising, where, yeah. I feel like there might be too much crossover with Master Run, since you're essentially going to have to get everyone anyway. But it would be more like, oh, okay, you don't actually need to do this. Like I'm trying to think what would be a good example. Like, if there's anyone you do not need to save, or like if you do not need to kill a psychopath, just don't bother and then go do collectibles. So... All right. So we're just going to head back here, and we're going to get some clothes back on again, Ellie, and that's it.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out one of the links below. Till next time, don't take your zombie safety for granted.